Hello everyone and welcome to this video where I'm talking to a good friend of mine, fellow therapist, Helen O'Brien. Helen is a colon hydrotherapist, but she's also added another string to her bow, and these are healing bowls. Helen, can you call them healing bowls?
they're called sound healing bowls. Although
Sound healing bowls.
one of my clients thought that they were talking plates, which I did find hilarious. And I said, no, they're singing bowls, not talking plates.
But you don't call them singing bowls.
Yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
they do. Well, when I say they're not like Pavarotti or anything like that, or Madonna, but they do sing to you soothingly, Linda.
Okay then, Helen. So just tell us then who you are, what you do, why you do it, and
Yeah.
where you do it.
Right, well, Helen O'Brien, I'm 53, and I am a digestive health practitioner, majoring on colon hydrotherapy. That seems to be my area of expertise.
Yeah.
Bottom.
I know you're very busy.
I know, yeah.
You're an expert colon hydrotherapist. You've got a fantastic reputation, and you're based in the Lowry Hotel in Manchester. In
I
this
am.
spa.
Yeah, Potter. Yes, and they've just had it refurbished, so it's now called the Lowry Retreat. It's beautiful,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The photographs look amazing.
Yeah, it's lovely. And this will be my 19th year of being a colon hydrotherapist, because I think you and I trained around the same time, I think. And I've been at the Lowry Hotel. This will be my 17th year.
Wow.
I know, time flies.
Well, obviously, people that stay at the Lowry Hotel have got access to the spa.
Yes, they have. I'll be honest with you. My business comes from people wanting a colon hydrotherapist.
Oh, I know.
I do get occasionally guests that will chance it, but inevitably I'm full. Or I'll get guests that'll say, right, I'm staying at the hotel, can I book in with you, and we'll work a package around, staying or what else they want to do in the spa, really, the retreat spa. So yes.
So do you work full time as a colon hydrotherapist then, Helen?
Well, you know what it's like, Linda. You've been there.
No,
Yes, I do.
sure.
I suppose in the last few years, I have had to look at my energy levels, and I work 4 days clinic hours, because as you know, running your own business, you have the admin hours and the hours that you need to get your start, work on your website, work on your social media.
Yeah, all these different hats that we have to wear.
Oh gosh, absolutely. And that constant, I think, role, and also you continue professional development. As we're arch therapists, we have to do a minimum of 30 hours a year. So it's okay, fine. In the last few years, I've not done the physical, in-house stuff, but all your webinars, your CPDs, your podcasts, your books, television programs. So it's more than full time, as you know, Linda.
Yes, I know. And of course, I was a colon hydrotherapist, really busy, whilst I was developing just for tummies at the same time. Absolutely bonkers busy. 60, 70-hour weeks, crazy. Working at the clinic, coming home in my office, and then working until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Developing for tummies. Absolute madness.
Yes.
And we love it, don't we?
Well, that's the thing. We
love it, and because we get such good, such good results for our clients.
Definitely, and I think really that's the heart of what we do. You wouldn't do this job if you didn't love the people, the results, and the passion. So I always say I don't work for a living. I work in an amazing place, although it's a bit of a nightmare getting in traffic-wise sometimes. However, beautiful place, beautiful people, beautiful clients.
And they say, don't they, that if you do a job that you love, Helen, you'll never do a day's work in your life, and it's so true, isn't it?
Without a shadow of a doubt, absolutely, shadow of a doubt, yeah, definitely.
I want you to talk about as well, not just about your singing bowls, your healing bowls, but I want you to talk about the retreats that you've started. So I've got that down on the list, so we'll talk about those a bit later.
Right.
So how did you become interested in colon hydrotherapy? I mean, was it like me, where you were recommended to have colon hydrotherapy? In my case, because I suffered with constipation. Or did you come at it from a different angle?
I came at colon hydrotherapy from my personal journey. I think my dad's twin brother, my uncle, passed away from bowel cancer in his 50s.
Oh,
And
wow.
he had a colonoscopy. He had a colostomy.
Yes.
And then he actually then had secondaries, and he was.
Which is a bag, isn't it? The colostomy.
Yes,
it's a bag
yes.
that's attached to the abdomen that catches all the feces, isn't it?
Absolutely. So he had a long journey with that, and he was young, Linda, and I remember it vividly, and I went through it. My sister, in her early years, very young, developed solitary rectal ulcers, and I remember, again, I was a child. My mum was a nurse, and going through. They obviously shielded both Katie and myself, but I didn't really know what was going on. But I knew obviously she had a poorly tummy. So again, that came out. I developed an irritable bowel after a bout of salmonella that I caught when I was in Morocco, and at the time I was in corporate world, actually working for a drinks industry, and developed a really bad irritable bowel, not realising the side effect and the knock-on effect of the salmonella.
Well, as you know, food poisoning, it's the number one cause of an increased risk of developing IBS, isn't it?
Which
and a lot of people know that.
Yes, and also I look back now, and actually it wasn't until I did a workshop that I realised all my other health issues had probably come primarily from this gut issue. But it was like, oh my God, it was a real light bulb moment.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is the standing joke. My dad used to disappear to the loo for at least an hour to do a crossword. And so we were very jovial about, oh, where's your dad? Well, obviously he's gone to the loo. I'll see him in an hour then, And I think it was
he was just trying to escape for an hour.
He was. Yeah, exactly. A house full of females. So, I think from that point of view, we had a very open relationship about bowels.
Yes.
Which obviously, as we know, some people have a lot of hang-ups and how they were brought up, which then have actually transpired into, bowel problems. Yes. So I think everyone has a bottom and everyone has to poo. Now, I worked in corporate world and I was pregnant with Harrison, my eldest son, who is now 19, he's nearly 20. When the chairman found out I was pregnant, he actually said to my boss, well, that's what happens when you employ birds. So it was that pinnacle moment where I walked out of the boardroom and went, Elvis has just left the building. I don't want to be in this corporate world anymore. And I looked at everything, but this kept coming up. And I think because of my own health experience, and also I had eczema, and I went for colon hydrotherapy, and it helped with my eczema.
Well, that's not surprising, because eczema, it's an autoimmune skin disease, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I also have an underactive thyroid. So again, that was my health journey, and I looked at all sorts. I looked at nursing, occupational health, podiatry, all sorts of stuff. But this is what kept coming up, and the rest, as they say, Linda, is history.
Yes. So, well, I think, like you, a very similar story. Recommended to try colon hydrotherapy for constipation. Went light bulb moment. I thought, I want to do this. I want to offer this, and yes, the rest is history. And I absolutely loved being a colon hydrotherapist. Although we closed the clinic, Kevin and I, 3 years ago now, I'm still passionate about it, and I still recommend people regularly to have colon hydrotherapy treatment, especially if they've got IBS, painful bloating, constipation, even for acid reflux, because there's a connection between bloating, hiatus hernia, and acid reflux.
Yeah.
Right. So, So moving on a bit then, Helen, how did you become interested in the sound bowls?
Well, again, it's amazing who you meet on your treatment bed, Linda.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually given the name of a couple who have now turned out to be very, very good friends. And I'd been given a name. And a friend of mine said to me, I went to this sound bath last night, Helen. You would really, really love it. You'd absolutely love it. And I'm there and I'm like, really? Yeah. I said, what's it about? And he said, I can't explain it. The guy had bowls and he played these bowls, but it was amazing. And I was
okay. Can I just say, because I've known you a long time, you've always come across as this kind of go-getter, full of energy, full of life. I would have put you with sound bowls. It's a very calming.
Well,
I've only ever
I
been to one
know.
sound bath session in my life, and I
I
just wouldn't
know.
put the two together.
I know, and actually, it's quite funny because when I say to clients, I said, "Oh, you're going to see a different side of me now because I'm not going to talk."
Well, that is a big challenge.
I know, it's a miracle in itself. So I started to go to the sound bath. Oh my God, Linda! I remember walking in and looking at these bowls, not realising the expense of the bowls because they are expensive. They are an investment. I'll come on to that later.
Yes.
I was absolutely hypnotised. I was blown away. And I went to the sound bath. And it was just the most unbelievable feeling physically, but also emotionally. And I think also it was probably what I needed at that time because you're right. We all run around 100 miles an hour. And sometimes you do need to stop. You know, we're a vehicle. I say this to my clients all the time. You need the right fuel going in. You need oil, good fats, water, and you need to stop. You can't do a 1,000-mile journey on one tank. You know, and I found they really, really helped me. And then I did a sound healing course because of my interest in it. And I think the other thing is, then we had COVID hit. As much as I love what I do, and I do passionately, it made me realise you need equipment and you need premises where you can work from.
Yes, yes. And I suppose with the sound bowls, they're transportable. You can just pick them anyway, can't you?
Absolutely. And it's like running a retreat in Ibiza in May. Yes. I can take my bowls with me. It's a transferable skill. So again, from that point of view, I suppose it made me stop and think out of the box. And I think the other thing is I mean, obviously, as arch therapists, we were very lucky we were able to work during the second and third pandemic because we were deemed as essential healthcare providers, which is amazing.
During the second and third lockdowns,
Yeah, absolutely. But what it did make me realise is, and I'm still seeing it now, the knock-on effect of the bigger picture of what we've gone through. People's stress levels and anxiety levels are through the roof.
I know.
Life has changed. Yeah, life has changed for a lot of people, and you know, and they need that. I suppose that healing, but on different ways. Not everyone wants to go and see a therapist. They don't want to do it. Not everyone wants to go to yoga or do a meditation or. But this was deemed as like, you know, am I a hippie? Yeah, I'm probably a hidden hippie, you know, but it's like, you know, make it friendly, make it accessible. Yeah. And it's not some cult or anything like that. You know, it's a really beautiful, relaxing place where I do my bowls, very, you know, inviting. And, you know, you can have a laugh, of course you can, but inevitably that healing and that downtime and that quietness, that stillness, of
it's
what
so important.
Absolutely. And that space for them to feel safe.
Yes.
It's held. You know yourself, you get a client that actually the colon hydrotherapy bit of our business is probably that amount. What we give afterwards, the support, the listening, the advice, the nurturing, it's that amount.
Yes.
So for me, this was a beautiful way that I could carry on that healing. And also, as much as we love our clients, we don't want to see them every week. No, it's like, right, let's do your treatments. Let's do this. If you need to see me for a little service or MOT or reset, absolutely fantastic. But in the meantime, if you can support your nervous system, which inevitably will support your bowels and your lifestyle and your emotional and physical needs, then that's great.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Right. So tell us then, what are sound bowls and why are they sometimes called healing bowls?
Right. We are all a vibrational frequency. And, you know, as you know yourself, when someone speaks to you, if they're very soft and gentle, then obviously you're like, oh, nice. If you get someone that's like, you're going to back off. So, you know, we vibrate and we vibrate at different levels. So sound healing has been going on for centuries. It's absolutely nothing new. And shamans, which I suppose, you know, shamans from, well, all over South America primarily, but they were supposed to be medicine men and women. And they would use certain instruments to take away negative energy, but then also to return positive energy, and also to, I suppose, pull out anything that was an issue for people, okay, that maybe they didn't realise that they had. So the sound healing, I play specifically alchemy crystal bowls. So each bowl I play is handmade with a note or a frequency attached, and that then works with your energy centers or your chakras.
Okay, so can you use the sound bowls to as like smudge sticks, for example, in the home? You know, if you can, because some people who are very sensitive, you know, they can walk into a place and they can kind of pick up on the energy in a place, can't they?
Yes.
So you can use them like that as well to clear negative energy in buildings.
Yes, very much so. So there's different frequencies. I mean, I use one. I think it's a 639 frequency, where actually you can go down the body to like, and you can hear it. You can hear the difference if chakras. I mean, I'm not professing. I'm an expert at that, because it's like, oh my god, it's mind blowing, and there's a lot of science behind it. You know, if you think about it, you know, hospitals use ultrasound to blast kidney stones. Clapping is a vibrational frequency, so it gives you a really good feel-good factor. So when I do a sound bath, for me, I start with a bit of breath work and a nice guided meditation. You know, they're nice and warm, they're comfortable, they're hydrated, and then I play an array of crystal bowls, and each one of them will work in line with the chakra centers.
You say the bowls are crystal? They're made of crystal.
So
because I'm thinking that metal bowls, you see,
that's a Tibetan bowl. Yeah, no, you've got Tibetan bowls. Obviously, they're from Tibet and India. And again, very durable, absolutely brilliant. And you can actually place them on the body, so you get the vibration.
Oh, yes.
So again, from that point of view, absolutely brilliant. But the one I play is the alchemy crystal bowl. So when I strike the bowl, that actually will resonate, and it travels at 86 miles an hour, and that will actually work as a neurological massage in hitting your pathways and calming the vagus nerve down.
So let me get this right. So you know, when you take classes, then you have people come to your classes for the sound bowls, right?
Yeah.
But do you also do one-to-one sessions with people as well?
Okay. Yeah. So I do one-to-ones, and obviously that is bespoke to that individual, because they'll come to you for different reasons, really, and obviously, you know. So I'll do, and I don't have a playlist. No. I just play what I feel, and sometimes the bowls, you know, I'm drawn towards a specific bowl. So this one here.
Oh yes, yeah.
This is made of citrine.
Oh, it's citrine, yes, yeah.
So, and the note is E. So that is all about your solar plexus chakra.
Yes.
So if I give you,
you know the color of the bowl, then does the color also respond to the chakra?
Yes, because the other thing is, yes. The other thing is, you've got the properties of the crystals as well as the sound, and this is what the difference is with the alchemy crystal bowls. So, you know, and they're made of some of the gold. I've got platinum. I've got diamond. You know, so they are precious crystals. So just to give you an example.
Yeah. Oh, and it lasts for quite a while, doesn't it? Yeah.
So it travels, and that's what these.
Oh
are.
yeah.
Absolutely. And also, depending on what you're playing with, you know, they'll work together as well. Each note.
Yeah, so can you play more than one bowl then?
Oh yeah, it's like a bingo card. So I mean, I've got dappers and dippers. I'm very good at that as well. So yeah, you've got. I mean, my bowl set is probably about. I think I've got 12 now.
What
different
are you
sizes.
hitting the bowls with?
Pardon?
What are you hitting the bowls with?
Right. So we've got. There we go. Yeah. So these are batons. So this one is a suede one where I would chime the bowl, and then this one I play around the bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing that you know, a bowl can make that kind of sound.
And the thing is, obviously, when you're playing it in a set, they'll. Oh, honestly, Linda, it's just
I
a
can
matter of time
imagine.
before I get you to one of mine.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, well, yeah, I'd love to. It's a
Yeah.
shame that we're not that we don't live closer to each other. But maybe I need to come up and stay at the Lowry for a
Absolutely.
couple of nights and use the
Yeah.
facility. But I can imagine, you know, during do you call it a sound bath?
Yeah, because you're bathed in sound.
You're bathed in sound, yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine that if you're feeling stress and tension, that it can be quite emotional because it's
Oh,
important to release that stress and tension,
without
isn't it?
shadow of a doubt. And as we know, and I've had it where, you know, you've been a bit fraught, or you've not perhaps allowed that permission to actually acknowledge how you're feeling.
Yes, yes.
And I think that's the other thing, you know.
Because
And
we're running
again,
around 100 miles an hour, we never stop, like you said.
no, and also process what you're feeling, you know, and
Yeah.
actually check in with yourself to go, actually, what is it that I need? What is it that you know, because as we all know, we can't give them an empty cup. And you know, we all need different things at different times. That's the other thing. So for me, the sound healing is, you know, it is phenomenal, really.
Yes. So do people lie down? Do they sit down?
Yeah, primarily what I say to them is, look, comfy mats, make yourself warm, comfy, come in your pajamas. I'm really not bothered. You know, as long as you're snuggly and you know, you're comfortable. Always bring a blanket. Make sure you're well hydrated. Don't come with a big heavy stomach, so don't have just eaten your
Oh,
food.
no.
And then
Empty your
sometimes,
bladder.
yeah, oh exactly. Oh God, nothing worse. And then the other thing is, obviously, you know, when you come into the room, it's nice and warm. I've got incense going, the lights are dim. Sometimes people wear eye masks because it's quite nice to take a sense out.
Yes.
You know, and I go around with nice smells. And then it's like, right, okay, what are the bowls telling me to play?
And is
And
this at the Lowry,
I
Helen?
do it at the Lowry, and then I've got a place that I do near my home at Goose Street, and another one where I do my yoga. It's a yoga studio at Asprey near Congleton. So they're really lovely places. Got lots of regular clients, which is great. It's lovely.
What's the maximum number that you can take then in a class?
I'm not. It's 14, anywhere between 14 and 18.
And mainly women?
No,
No.
no. Good mixture.
Mm.
And really, to be honest with you, most ages, you know, I mean, like kids, we've had kids before now, because, you know, children need calming down. They need the healing as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you know, if someone wants to do some sound healing at home, then you know, in between, you know, coming for classes, can they buy a bowl?
They can buy a bowl. The ones I have, I'm going to be honest with you, they're an investment. They're like your diamond. So I mean, that bowl that I've just played you here.
Yes.
It's over £2,000.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
Because obviously,
I hope they're insured.
oh God, yeah, yeah, they are the prized possession of the house. It's like I did a workshop for a menopause workshop, and it was lovely because all these ladies were flat out. It was brilliant. And one of them had got up, and she was obviously still quite dazed, and she started to walk towards me, and I just kept thinking, she's going to go in my bowl, she's going to go in my bowls. And I just remember putting my hand out and went, my bowls, just get back, my bowls. Yeah. And I was like, but it's like, whoa, because yeah, of course you can claim on your
So how do you transport them then? They must come in cases.
Yeah, they're in cases. So I mean, I have bubble wrap, I've got packaging, but obviously they go inside, and then the cases are padded. Very much so.
And so you have those for a lifetime then? They don't kind of wear out?
Yeah, they won't wear out. No, they're a lifetime investment.
I remember many years ago when I was kind of into Buddhism, and
Yeah.
I went on Buddhist retreats, and I remember watching a video about Tina Turner, and
Oh,
all
yeah.
the trials and tribulations that Tina
Yes.
went through with Ike, and she turned to Buddhism, didn't she? I
Yes,
think one of her friends was a Buddhist, and she taught Tina how to chant this Renki.
Yeah.
And I used to do that years ago.
Yeah.
At a time, Helen, when I needed to do it, when I needed it.
Exactly.
I don't need it now. But back then, I did buy some Tibetan bells.
Yes.
And so before I did any of my Buddhist chanting, I would just think together, and that would kind of set the mood and the scene. Set the mood for my Buddhist chanting. Yes,
Definitely. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
and the sound that they made was just wonderful. Such a wonderful, light, positive sound.
Exactly. And I mean, I use the crystal bowls, but I've got like this one here. This is nice to end my sound bath. This is Koshi chime.
Oh, that's lovely.
And these are the elements, so that's lovely. And then I also made a drum, because
it's like a wind chime, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I also made a drum. So in traditional shamanic healing, they use drumming. I did. This is a drum that I made with a lovely lady from Glastonbury. And that's really nice, like when you're guiding people in meditation or you're doing a drum journey, which again, it's like, you're gone.
What's it made of then, the drum?
Goat skin.
Goat skin.
Yeah. I mean, it's all roadkill, they're not killed.
Oh, yeah.
It's all natural or whatever. But yeah, my pride and joy that I made that myself. So
well done, you. A woman of many talents.
Oh yeah.
We've covered what they're made of then, because I put down here metal wood ? I had no idea that they were made of crystal and other semi-precious metals as well.
Absolutely,
They gold and platinum.
Yeah, diamonds, all sorts.
Diamond, a diamond bowl.
Yeah, well, not a diamond bowl. There's diamond in the bowl. So yeah,
in the bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the crystal skulls from the Harrison Ford film.
Oh, Indiana Jones.
Yeah. You got the crystal skulls, and then they worked on vibrations, didn't they?
Absolutely, yeah, very much so. Yeah,
crystals, of course.
Yeah.
Right. So we've covered that they can be used like smudge sticks to help get rid of negative energy in buildings. Then have you actually done that yourself?
I've done drumming to get rid of negative energy. Yeah, you can do all sorts. Yeah. So yeah, it's
Have
good.
you done it for other people then?
Yes.
A bit like kind of an exorcism.
An exorcism, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Right. Amazing. So what actually happens then during a sound bowl workshop? Like you say, people come in. I know when I used to go to yoga, I used to take a sleeping bag actually.
Oh yeah. Oh,
so that when we've done the postures, the end 15-20 minute relaxation bit, I'd just get in the sleeping bag.
Oh yeah. So I mean, what I do is I do breath work. So you've probably heard a lot. There's a lot on TV at the moment about Wim Hof, and there's lots of different kinds of breath. And again, breath, we're born with it. Your last breath, your first breath in. If you've got issues with anxiety or panic attacks or whatever, calming your breath down.
Yes,
works.
That's a very good tip, and that's something that you can do straight away.
Exactly.
To stop a panic attack in its tracks. Just concentrate on your breath.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, again, as we know with gut problems, if you look at a baby when they breathe, their belly goes in and out because of fashion, because of other issues. A lot of people don't breathe into their bellies. It's all very shallow upper respiratory tract. Well, if you think about the digestion system, it's massive. So to really work that breath in the belly is so important. And also the toxins that are carried around in your breath.
But you need to get the breath into the lower lobes of the lungs,
Exactly.
because if you're going to get a lung infection, really, that's where it's going to be, the lower lobes, because
Yes.
they don't get enough oxygen.
No, and that's the thing, and obviously we need the oxygen. And things like we did breath work with a lot of boxers and athletic guys, and basically they found that their stamina and what they could do was far better than what they did before the breath work.
Well, it's not surprising, is it, Helen? Because they're getting more oxygen and nutrients into the muscles.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember when I first started the breath work, I got into a cold lake and it was freezing, but I could do it because I was focused on my breath. And then the next thing you know, your body then starts to become, because you've got rid of all your carbon dioxide and you've filled it full of oxygen. You're in this cold water. Then you're like, I don't feel the cold water. And you actually start to burn. It's phenomenal.
I know. I've done it. Yeah.
Exactly. So the power of your breath. And also, you've got, like I said, different kinds of breath work. So one of the ones that I do is called transformational breath. So I would do that if you're in shock or you've had a trauma, the first thing you do will hold your breath. And whatever you've held in there has been into a cellular level. So I've had it done on me and it was phenomenal. So when you go through your breath and then obviously you do your sound, again, safe space, you're held. Inevitably, you're going to release whatever you've absorbed. You don't need to speak. You just need to release.
Yeah, you just need to breathe.
Exactly, breathe. So what I tend to do, I would do that on a one-to-one, but what I tend to do in a class is just do like 3 or 5 rounds of like dynamic breath. And people go like, and it's all through the mouth. And it just literally sets the tone, and they're like, oh my God. Again, just focusing on that breath because it's so important.
And how long does a class last?
My classes are anywhere between an hour to an hour and a half, depending on what I'm doing.
Quite a good length then.
Oh God, yeah.
What's the fee, Helen? What's the charge?
Again, my fees, and it range anywhere between £20 and £30. So at the Lowry, because obviously it's a more expensive space, I can get I do it for an hour and a half, and we do breath work, guided meditation, and the sound healing. For one of my other smaller places, I charge £20 because it's an hour of just the sound and a bit of meditation. So yeah.
So do you do those every week then?
No, I do mine monthly.
Right.
Yeah.
So and then do people when they've attended one of your breath work or bowl healing classes, do you kind of give them what about when they get home or when they get to work? What about if they're back in that stressful situation?
Yeah.
Do you give them tips on how to cope?
Oh yeah, I think the classes that I run are of an evening. But what I say to everyone is obviously make sure you're hydrated. Don't go and start switching your phone on and going back into an environment if you don't have to. Obviously, because I'm doing this at night, inevitably they can go home. But also be mindful, some things can start to surface. I've had tears before now, and that's fine. People think tears are bad, they're not, they're a relief.
They are.
Again, it's like just be mindful what actually comes up for you. Feel it, process it, but let it go. I'm at the end of a phone or an email, if people want to talk more, or like sometimes during the sound healing, you can feel tingles, you can feel energy, you can feel cold, you can feel heat. 9 times out of 10 you will sleep well. You will sleep like a baby after a sound bath.
Right. So so how do the sound bowls help people who have gut problems then?
It's all about calming the nervous system and this lovely little thing called the vagus nerve, and obviously, as we know, it's attached to the bowels. So it's that relaxation, it's that stillness,
letting go.
So as we know, you'll go through your client's medical form or whatever, and then you'll go, right, okay, so you've been constipated for 5 years, and if you do a timeline, inevitably, probably 9 times out of 10, there's something attached emotionally. And at the end of the day, if you're unpeeling an onion, you're unpeeling the layers. So it's very much that stillness. I think awareness. I think it's awareness about what you need.
Yes, an awareness of your body, taking that time to be still and just to be intuitive and listen to your body and what it needs.
Very much so. And it's something I've really learned to do. I think probably since I started my own business, because I've had to. I mean, I was very lucky. I went to a retreat last year and I went to Peru. So I was in the jungle. I was shaman.
I heard about that.
Phenomenal. I know.
So
what you doing now? What you doing now? But you know what? I mean, it was phenomenal.
Peru, folks. Bye.
I know. Bye. I mean, it was phenomenal. But if you said to me what was one of the most pinnacle parts, I had no Wi-Fi for 18 days.
Really? Did you know that before you went?
Yeah, I chose it as well because I could have bought a Peruvian SIM card. Yeah, I rang the boys, my sons, when I came out of the jungle, and they were like, "Oh, Mum, we didn't expect to hear from you." So I did keep in contact with them. But from a work perspective, I had it all covered, Linda. That was one. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and we kids do it, we do it, you know, those boundaries of, you know what?
What made you choose Peru, Helen? Why that particular retreat?
Because I'm doing my shamanic training with a shaman that was holding a retreat out there. And I just went, yeah, I'll go. I didn't even read the itinerary. Yeah, I'll go. There's the money. I'm done. Done. I'm going.
So on that note, so tell us then what is shamanic healing and where does it come from? Where does it originate?
Oh God. Well, it's from the indigenous tribes. So again, this is thousands of years old. This is nothing new.
All over the world, I should imagine, you know, North America, the Native American Indians, South America, as you say, but India.
Yeah, and they use, I suppose, a bit like the old family, they use plants. You know, when we went into the jungle, it was amazing. The plants that are used to help heal eyes. There was a plant that attached itself to a tree. And he said, we use this to treat cancer treatments. And you think about it, something that just sucked itself on a tree, a foreign body, that's what they use. You know, there was all sorts of stuff, different teas, you know, flowers. And again, the energy and the time, that time to heal. And also, you know, so they're very much about taking out the bad and putting in the good.
So did you have any treatments there then? What did it?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah.
So you were learning how to be a shamanic healer, yes?
No, I was experiencing the shamanic healing. So they did the sound healing. You know, there's Peruvian flower water. We had flower baths. You know, we had like different kinds of teas. We did, you know, different little workshop things. There was one that's amazing. It was like a burning ceremony where they built taking us out. It was hot. It was very hot, and we're dancing around this massive bonfire barefoot. There was ants everywhere. You know, and again, it was about the letting go, and it was like the prayers that they do, and they do. There's the plants that there's a thing. It's called shapaka, where they dry these leaves, and it's like, and oh my God, it's amazing, just phenomenal. And the diet that you follow. So it was all natural foods, no caffeine, no alcohol, and that stillness. You know, there was no. It was pitch black by 8 o'clock. We were in bed. And it was also very simple, but very humbling. And actually, it made you realise what you don't need.
Yes, very different to Manchester.
Very different to Manchester.
So you came back from there a different person.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was what I needed at that time.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, exactly. So did you say that you're learning how to become a shamanic healer?
Yeah, I'm going into shamanic. Yeah. Yes.
So what does that mean? If someone came to you and said, I want a shamanic healing session with you, Helen, what does that look like?
Well, instruments, so things like soul retrieval. So what they say is and journeying. So obviously the traditional shamans use spirit guides and animals. So you can journey with a drum to find your spirit guide and your animal, and to ask for them, to talk to them. You know, soul retrieval, what they say is when someone passes or transitions to a different realm, a little bit of you goes. So, you know, to
Yeah.
retrieve that soul back. And I think it's, I suppose it's the wisdom, isn't it? Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. So this is a journey that I've been led on through people and through my experiences through my colon hydrotherapy.
Yes, yes.
So for me, if it's something that I can do that will assist and nurture and help people going forward, and the ways that I can do it, then that's what I should be doing. So
can you see a time when you'll no longer be practicing colon hydrotherapy then?
Yeah,
Because
probably.
that would be a massive loss to
It would,
colon
yes, it
hydrotherapy
would
and
be,
to your
and that,
client. But I'm sure that you would have something in place,
definitely, yeah, and I suppose like you know, while you don't practice colon hydrotherapy, you're a massive advocate for it, and you're doing something to support people.
yes.
And you have that skill. You know, at the end of the day, if you need to pick up a set of pints, Linda, you could do it. There wouldn't be an issue.
Yes, like riding a bike.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, you know, will I be doing it at 70? Oh, who knows? And probably not the hours that I'm doing now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. So yeah, I mean, obviously, eventually, I will have to retire at some point, and I will need a successor
Yeah.
or two.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate in having Jane just down the road, so I was able to refer all of my clients to Jane.
Yes.
That's Jane Bush, and any new inquiries I get now, I just send them down to Jane.
Absolutely.
And to Sarah, she's got Sarah, of course.
Yes, of course, which is brilliant. And I see Jane on a regular basis. She's coming to my retreats and she loves my sound healing.
Oh, she had a session.
Yeah.
Oh,
she loves it. And maybe I should come to Nottingham.
Well, look, on the retreats then, Helen. So tell us why did you want to set up retreats?
I think probably from the experience that I'd had, that you know, to give yourself that permission for that time, whether it's like we're doing a weekend one in Coniston in the beginning of April, where it's like, you know, this is your time, this is your space, whatever surfaces, you know, you're nurtured, you're held, that space is held. And for me, it's like, it gives you more of that nurturing and that time to process and to deal with things. Whereas obviously, and I'm, you know, I mean, I'm terrible really. It's like, I'll have an appointment and then you think, yeah, fine. But then, you know, within an hour, you're back into the world.
Yeah.
Stop. And it's just like, right, switch the phone off. No one's going to die if they can't get hold of you, or just check in every now and again. So you can work on yourself and give yourself that time and that permission. I did it for 18 days in Peru. I will do it again. That was my biggest lesson. Yeah. You know,
they've always been so important to me, Helen. Retreats, you know, time away, call it what you like. But ever since I've been a therapist, which is, you know, 30 years now, I have needed to get away on my own, whether it be a yoga retreat, a Buddhist retreat. When I was in Austria a few times to the Viva May clinic, although I was, you know, I was learning there as well. But just time to get away on my own, to just to think things through, to have that time. I just need it. And look at Kev, my husband, you know, he fully understands. Well, I think he's glad to see the back of me sometimes.
Oh, he's lovely, Kev. But you know, you're right. At the end of the day, we can't continue to improve and to give and to learn if we don't have that clarity or that energy. You know, to just stop. And it is as equally, I mean, it's like I'm running a retreat in, so we've got the one in Coniston for a long weekend.
When's that?
It's in the Lake District, and that's I think it's the Friday 31st of March to the 3rd of April. And
how many people are you taking, Helen?
The actual place itself can fit 25. So you know, that's absolutely fine, and there's enough of us again to support people, and we're doing a variety of things. So we're doing the breath work, cold water swimming, or the shamanic soul retrieval, the drumming, the sound. I mean, it'll be amazing. And we've got a guy who's phenomenal, chef, unbelievable. So you've been nurtured as well with like lovely food and stuff.
So that's quite a lot to arrange. Do you arrange all that yourself, or have you got somebody helping?
No, I've got a very, very dear friend, Sharon, that I do a lot of stuff with. Has become my soul sister. She's amazing. And we also have another friend, Andreas, as well. So the three of us, I mean, it's like I'm off to Brighton this week because Andreas has organised some stuff down in Brighton that Sharon and I, the three of us, are doing together. So that's lovely. And then we've got a week's retreat in Ibiza, which again, hopefully May time, the sun's going to be shining, Linda. But again, the energy of the place, we'll be doing the shamanic stuff, the sound healing, the breath, and all sorts of stuff. Again, amazing food. And also they can have that little bit of time out to do the sunbathing if they want to go to the hippie market. So again, and you've got a week, and that is a week switch off.
Yeah. So if someone's interested in attending one of your retreats, then Helen, how do they contact you? Have you got a website for your retreats?
My website, my Complete Health Clinic website, has got my retreats on them. Yeah, and then obviously my social media, Instagram and Facebook. I'm available. I'm contactable.
Yeah,
there's loads of channels.
You are is it the Complete Health Clinic or Complete Health Clinic?
CompleteHealthClinic.co.uk.
Yes, right. So all the information about the retreats is on there. Have you got information about the sound?
All on there.
As well.
Yeah, all the dates are on there. So yes.
Right. That's absolutely amazing. So that's how people contact you then. I think we've covered just about everything, unless I've forgotten anything, Helen, that you think is pertinent and important.
No, I don't think so, Linda. I think you've covered everything.
Right. Well, I want to thank you for your time. It's been
thanks for asking me.
Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope the viewers and listeners, if you're listening to this, have enjoyed it and we'll get something out of it. So Helen, I'm going to be sending this video out to my database, and I'll be sharing it across social media as well, and I'll be tagging you in. I'll be giving them a link to your website. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to stop recording now, Helen, and then we can have a little private chat afterwards. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening, watching. Hope you enjoyed that, and bye for now.
Bye.